Hey, welcome in. Happy Wednesday. We are here live for Wake Up Legendary. As always, this is not a simulation. This is not a pre-recording. We're actually here live. A few minutes late today, but we're still here. We're rocking. We're rolling. So, um, if you are here with us, let us know in the comments. You can leave us a little comment and let us know that you're here. I see some familiar, some unfamiliar. Lori, Kara, familiar names to me. Robert, Angela, what's going on? Glenn, Gage, what's going on? Angel, James, William, awesome. Good to have you guys here. Welcome in. And if you are newer to our community or this is your first time tuning in, we host these every single Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern. And I mean, typically holidays, we're here. Like, I mean, it's literally every freaking time. So every freaking day. So, if you want to tune in and you'd like to get a reminder every time that we go live, it's over here. You can text WUL to 813-296-8553. You'll get a short little text message every time we go live. In fact, I bet that if I look down here, yep, I have my text message right here. And it gives me a little link I can tap on to join this stream. So it's super easy. And if you want to do that, you can simply text 813-296-8553. Today, we've got an awesome guest. I'm really excited to chat with her. She's got all sorts of cool stuff going on and is just super skilled. I'm very, very curious to get to know her. And so we're just going to bring her on. Sarah, what's going on?
Hi, how are you?
Good. I'm doing very well. Where are you calling in from?
Where am I? I'm in Palm Beach, Florida.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Awesome. Cool. Moved from Hawaii to there?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. I used to live in
Cool.
Hawaii. My parents are still in Hawaii, but yeah, I'm here now. Just came because of the pandemic and everything. And I thought my
Okay.
parents would come with me, but they did. They're like, we're staying in Hawaii, so you have
Okay.
fun in
Nice.
Florida.
Nice. Awesome.
Yeah.
So bring us into your world a little bit. Like, we don't know you. This is our first time meeting you. It's my first time meeting you. Bring us a little bit into your world of how did you find digital marketing? How did you go online? Why did you go online?
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about you.
Yeah. Well, first of all, thank you for having me. I appreciate it. And Legendary Marketer and Wake Up Legendary is such a cool space. Like, even the value just from these videos that you guys offer for free is really awesome. So thank you. But yeah, I got started in digital marketing back in 2016. That's when I first learned about it. But I didn't do much with it because I didn't know how. There wasn't something like this that I was aware of. That I felt was honest and ethical, and that could teach me the basic skill sets and everything. But I was at the time working as a cleaner, and before that, I was working in corporate, and I was just very unhappy, very overworked, underpaid, stressed out. I know a lot of people can relate to those feelings and emotions. And I was always just grinding. I felt like I was just always working and nonstop and just didn't have a life outside of work. And I was at this point in my life where I was like, you know what, I can't live this way anymore. I know I have more to give. And I think everyone has felt that at some point where they have that inner calling or that inner pull to do something more with their life, but they don't know how to go about it exactly. And so I was just praying to God, and I was like, just show me something, anything, I don't care what. And then I was introduced to digital marketing and affiliate marketing. And I was like, yes, that's what I was looking for. Like something that's rooted in helping people, that offers service, products, but that can also create passive income streams for me so that I can help even more people. Because that was my main thing that I wanted. I wanted to help more people because I knew what it was like to struggle. I knew what it was like to grow up in a very poor family, to have very little. I had come from a very big family. I have 7 sisters. So we grew up like huge family, just not with a lot though. So I have very humble beginnings. And I was just I thought that I had to, because I grew up poor, I had to be poor my whole life. And then
Ooh.
I saw these people doing affiliate marketing and digital marketing. They had kind of similar stories to me, like, hey, we grew up on food stamps, or, like whatever. It was just like a very similar narrative of poverty mindset. And then they were able to break that chain. And I was like, well, if they can do it, why can't I? Like, what makes them so better or different or special? And so I got started in affiliate marketing, took it seriously in 2017. And 4 months later, I was able to quit my cleaning job from the initial start date. Now, mind you, I was hustling. I was working really hard. That did not come like, I don't want to make it sound like, oh, I just slapped on a link and that was it. Like, there was a lot of work that I did, a lot. And especially a lot of work in here, a lot of mindset shifts that I had to go through. The cool thing that I was able to do while cleaning houses, even though it was the most humble, hardworking job I've ever had in my life, was that I could just listen to whatever I wanted while I was cleaning. So all day long while I was cleaning, I was listening to podcasts and books and just expanding my mind and learning from so many people. I was already doing that, but I took it to a whole nother level. And I felt like, okay, this makes it worth it, because I feel like I'm getting paid to learn in a way, and then just making some extra cash to keep me afloat. So that's how I got started. And then prior to that, I was doing blogging and still do.
Okay.
And I have my blog where I work with other people to help them with their blogs, because building a brand online is super important. A lot of people are just relying on social media, and that's great in one way, but it's not, because those social media accounts can be stripped of you like that. Like, people get their TikToks taken away, their like their Facebooks, their Instagrams. You don't technically own that, even if it's your name, like at Sarah Faith or at Matt. Like, they don't care. But if you have a self-hosted website and blog, you own that. Nobody can tell you what to write, what to do. And so I became very passionate about that. And so I make a full-time living from blogging as well, which is really cool. But
Nice.
affiliate marketing is a great component of like an income stream. And I've been able to just learn so much. And I had a lot of people asking me like, hey, you talk a lot about affiliate marketing, but is there a course that you can promote? Or like, do you have a course? And people were asking me to teach it, but I couldn't find something that I could put my stamp of approval on and say like, yes, like this is what I would, share with you. And so I started researching, and then that's when I found Legendary. And I'm like, you know what? I'll take one for the team. $7. Let's try this 15-day challenge, see what happens.
Right.
That's like the cost of a coffee these days. So I was like, what do I have to lose? And I was actually very pleasantly surprised. And I was like, like, this is something I wish I had starting out. Like, if I had that 15-day challenge and applied it, like took notes, like listened to every video, plus all the free content from Wake Up Legendary and everything, I was like, I would be light years ahead. And so it was exciting to be able to offer that to people. People message me all the time, say, oh my gosh, like I've gotten such great results. Like, I've learned so much. Like, it's such a great educational piece. And here we're going. And so I'm working with like 20, 25, 30 different affiliate products that are in the blogging business niche, and a few health products, because I do have a degree in health science. So that's cool. The gist of my story.
Jeez, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I have certain like kind of interview like Q questions or whatever, and I feel like you were like, you got yourself to a point and then like fed them to yourself. That was incredible. That was great.
I just ran with it.
I love it. No, so I wanted to go back to like, I feel like there was a lot to pull out there. A few things jumped out to me is I had a similar experience when I was working basically in a coffee warehouse where I was like, not making very much money, but I always had headphones in. And I was always listening, and I totally resonate with that. Like, just the little times throughout your day when you can pump your ears full of stuff that's like even just giving you new ideas or sparking new ideas or sparking new sort of inspiration.
Right.
Oh, it's so powerful. I love
Totally.
that.
Like always feeding your mind with just positivity and a different perception from people who've gone through similar or even worse situations. Because I always thought that like, oh, we had it so bad as kids, and then like I'd listen to someone else who had it way worse, and I'm like, well, look what they're doing. Like they were able to get out of that situation, so why can't I? And everyone else.
Yeah.
So, totally.
So when you yeah, wow, that's very interesting. So right now you have this whole blogging brand too. Like you've got like multiple different brands going on and everything. Like how did you okay, the whole like what you said about blogging and having your own platform, having your own thing, right? What you said about that is so powerful because it is true. Um, but the truth of the blog thing, right? So there's sort of pros and cons, right? Like
Yeah.
to get set up on a TikTok account, start creating content, you can do that, boom, today, and you could have 5 videos up at the end of the day.
Right.
On a blog, like there's a little bit more learning curve. There's till you're actually getting traffic. There's a little bit more of like sort of work involved in intensity, but like you said, the big payoff is like you control things, right? Like for the most part.
Yeah.
Obviously, Google has a little bit to say about that too,
Yeah.
but for the most part, like you're never going to get it taken down. The content's always going to stay there,
Yeah.
unless you're really conspiring to some crazy terrorist organization or something, right?
Right.
Like for the most part, your content's always going to stay up. It's always going to be there, and you actually hold the keys to it. I feel like that's so powerful. And but oftentimes, I shouldn't say oftentimes, but sometimes people are so short sighted when they come online. It's crunch time or they're in a bind or whatever that like there's like what's a cool little side hustle I can do that's fast, right?
Right.
But you've really taken a long term approach. I mean, you're already like kind of like year 4, 5 ish.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and you've got this really long-term sort of vision and feel to everything that you're doing. What tell us about that, like the
Yeah.
long-term approach and why that's important.
Yeah, no, I'm glad you brought that up because I know I kind of like hit that for a second while I was telling my story, but it's so important because I think we live in such a touch and go world now. Everything's is instant, from like food to like our phone to social media, and we feed off of that like instant like or that instant share or reblog, and we get a lot of gratification out of it. And there was that documentary that came out about like how social media is like literally like warping our brains and like controlling us to be less patient and everything. Um and I'm not saying that social media is bad. I'm saying that it can be used in a bad way if you don't have a long-term plan and mindset, because like you said, and I was saying that like those things can be taken away like that. I have a friend who had like 150K on like their social media, and it got taken down for them posting a video about like a belief that they had. Like they didn't do anything wrong. It was just TikTok was like, nope, like you're cut. And so then that traffic source cut off so much income, and they put all their eggs in one basket, which I had said from the beginning. I was like, that's great that you have that, but like don't put all your eggs in one basket. And a lot of people, that's what they're doing. And I don't feel I would be a good teacher or coach or friend even if I didn't educate on that. And so you have to have a long-term mindset. And you can, what's nice is that because of like apps like TikTok and Instagram, and then like now like Snapchat Spotlight and like YouTube Shorts, where like you can gain virality pretty quickly, you can leverage those absolutely in conjunction to building a brand that has this like long-term game of, and I would say like a website, a blog, something that is your own, it's self-hosted, nobody can take it away from you. Do
Yep.
that simultaneously, and you can feed traffic. A lot of people who were on I don't know if anyone remembers Vine, but like Vine was out for like it felt like 5 seconds. Like it was like there
Yeah.
for 5 seconds. And there was all these like Vine stars that just like went up, like had millions of followers overnight. And then a lot of them, like nobody knows where they went. They like fell off the face of the earth. Why? Because they didn't redirect that traffic from Vine to another uh, traffic source, like to a website or a blog. They didn't capture those email leads. They didn't, nothing. So I would say
Yeah.
you have to do both. You know, definitely take advantage of TikTok, especially, and just like all these different apps and use them to your advantage. Use Instagram Reels and, you know, YouTube Shorts, and like do it within like your brand and mindset, you know, because not every app is going to be for you.
Right.
That's important too. Like some people are like, okay, I'm going to be on Snapchat and now I'm going to be on here and there and there. And it's like, no, like stay focused on like 2, maybe 3, maybe, and really just leverage that
Yeah.
while you build up a brand and a loyal following, because that loyal following will follow you wherever you go. Like I have people from my original blog that I started on Tumblr who still follow me to this day, years and years later, before I was ever making money. I didn't even know you could make money from blogging when I first started it. Like, so this,
Right.
I'm talking a long time ago. Those same people have watched me travel all over the world. They saw me live in Asia. They saw me live in Hawaii. They saw me go through these ups and downs, and they're still here, and they're probably going to still be there later on. And I'm not looking for this huge massive millions of followers of people. I don't care about that. I'm not a numbers person, really. I care more about the quality of those people and who I can help within that. I'd rather have 4 shiny quarters than 100 little pennies, even though they might equal the same. I'd rather have those 4 quality rock solid people, because that's what you want, you know? And so I would say do both, definitely do both. But don't, if you're thinking like, oh, I'm just going to rely on TikTok and like hopefully go viral on Pinterest, like, no, like, let's go. Come on, like, think long term. Social media could be taken away from us tomorrow. And you have to ask yourself, if your TikTok, your Pinterest, your Instagram, or any of those apps were taken away tomorrow, would you have a business? Most people wouldn't.
Yeah.
So.
Now, all of that said, you do have TikTok.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you're smart enough to look at it and be like, hey, it might be temporary, but while it's temporary, like we should jump on this.
Yes. Yeah, for sure. For sure.
So you've been around a little while. Like, what's been your experience about TikTok? What do you think about it?
I think it's a fun app. I think it's really cool. It's nothing like it has existed before. All these other apps are now copying and following suit. They changed the game because they introduced short form video, and that was the primary focus of the app. Whereas like Pinterest was all about the visual aesthetic, and then now they're copying with TikTok with their idea pins. They're called, or like story pins. Instagram's you know, they're copying them too with like reels and stuff. And but short form video is the name of the game. And so like, if anybody has an issue with being in front of the camera, I'm not saying that you can't be successful. I'm just saying that like you're gonna have a harder time, because people want to see your face and they want to see your name and what you're putting yourself behind. A lot of people are hiding behind their phones, and I feel that you could get so much more out of it if you're just willing to put yourself out there, you know, and like put your name with your brand and everything. I think it's a lot of fun. It's a double-edged sword though, because when you go viral on it, all this love can come and then all this hate can come too. It's like, so you get these like 2 major feelings, and you're like, well, this is great because like my business is growing and I got like 5,000 leads overnight. And then you're like, wait, but like someone just told me to like jump off a cliff. So like literally, like it can be like 1 or 2 or both ways. So I would say leverage it 100%. I have multiple TikTok accounts for different businesses, and they're all doing great. And some I just have because I'm a Christian and I believe in God, and I have an account where I just share more about my faith, and there's no links. There's no like, hey, buy this or da da da. Like, I'm not looking to sell anybody anything on that account. You know, I don't want to treat them like a bank. So not everything has to be a transaction, but it's such a powerful app to teach people on, like, and to do it in under a minute. Like, focus on value. Focus on what can I do to bring more value to this video or this this person, even if it just hits one person. Focus on what is valuable versus what will go viral, because typically what is valuable will go viral. And so if you're focusing on that, you can create so much more longevity. And again, it's like a lot of people, and I'm not hating on this because I've done it too, but like a lot of people will focus on the like, look at how much money I made in a month or like 2 months or 3 months. And that's fine. Like, be proud of your results and everything, of course. However, make sure that the bulk of what you're teaching and sharing about is how you got there, instead of just being like, oh, woke up and like $40,000 in my bank account. Like, that's not helpful to someone who's starting out and doesn't even know what affiliate marketing is, or you know what I mean? So like, actually educate people and teach, because then they will treat you and look at you as a thought leader and as an expert within that field. And so, yeah, I think it's a great app, but you just have to be a little careful with it. And do not put all your eggs in that basket, because I know a lot of people who got their accounts taken off.
Yeah. Oh, it happens all the time. And it happens on all kinds of platforms too. I feel like specifically with like, you said something. I want to go back to that. Not putting your eggs in one basket, and also like for instance, the whole like sharing my end result, right? Like sharing my end result. And this would happen in sort of the make money niche. This would happen in the weight loss niche. I'm trying to think of different niches. This would happen in a lot of different niches that have sort of before and after result type posts. Is what you'll typically find is like how a marketer frames whatever they're pitching will end up sort of being the result of like, it'll end up giving them the feedback they are either looking for or not looking for. Meaning, like, if you create a bunch of posts that are like, I made $40,000 overnight, like, check this out. What will happen is you might drive a lot of sales, and those sales are going to be people who are pissed off because they didn't get that same result, right? And this leads us to this whole like misleading marketing and all of that stuff, right? And you talked about that earlier. But then on the other hand, like what you said, and I thought what you said was exactly pointed correct, was sharing the process you had to get there. Yeah. And when you do that, people realize like, oh, okay, this is not going to be easy. I'm going to have to learn, and all of that stuff. This is a marketing strategy called preframing. So all of that is pre-framed for people. So they actually like have a bit of understanding of what's coming, and they don't feel blindsided when they purchase something. It's the same in weight loss. Sometimes people promise, overnight weight loss, right? And then people are pissed off and yelling about that. And like, so I just think if people sort of learn and come to understand that there's like this whole pre-framing that happens, it changes the feedback that you get. So for instance, there's been affiliates for us that have come back to me and been like, well, people are mad, or people like purchased or whatever. And then you go look at their marketing, and it's all about, right? It's all kind of not super misleading, but it's all a little bit like, well, dude, like
gimmicky.
It's gimmicky. Great word for it. Yeah. It's a gimmick. And so no wonder if you're making sales based off of a gimmick, no wonder people are like pissed off or unhappy or refunding, right? And that's the kind of thing where people come to me and they're like, well, what's the typical refund rate? Well, what's your marketing look like, right? Like this is it's a bigger picture. It's a bigger story than just, well, what's a refund rate looks like. They're really low, but for some people who do a gimmick type marketing, they're much higher, right? So that was such a great point. And I felt like for how somebody goes about creating content and everything, like thinking through that and pre-framing that while also still being able to drive curiosity and actually get views and attention is super important. And it's a real skill, like a very, very real skill.
Oh, totally, Matt. And you said that so perfectly. And I think that it also changes the quality of leads that come in too. If your only focus is all about the money, right? Like it's just like money, 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 money. You will attract leads that come in and their only focus is money. However, if you're teaching about value and education and like even just the honesty of being an affiliate and disclosing that and the legalities of it, you will attract people who take that seriously. And then you'll see your refund rates very low. I have people who might have bigger lists than me or bigger followings, but their refunds on those affiliate products are astronomical. Whereas mine are like, they're not basically non-existent. There's a little bit, because that's just typical. But across all my affiliate products, like I can look at them and be like, well, 99% of that will be in my bank account because there won't be this huge refund rate. Because I know I'm doing what you were saying, like that pre-framing work. So important, but that's not taught enough, unfortunately. So
it's not, unfortunately. Yeah. That's funny. What in your process of creating content and everything, and we've got a couple different like TikTok, Instagram stuff, like which do you have a preferred like TikTok that we would put up here so people can follow you?
Yeah, I mean, for since we're talking about affiliate marketing, I would say at the social affiliate would be the one that people can go and you can go and check it out. Don't feel like you have to follow, or just come say hi and be like, hey, I saw you on there. And if you have questions, I really try to answer as many questions. My Instagram, I just redid it because we're doing like a social experiment. So I had like thousands and thousands of followers on my old Instagram. And then I decided to delete that so that I could start a new one. Because a lot of people are saying that like Instagram's dead. I don't think it's dead. I think it's just changing. And I think that they're turning it more into a business platform, even though it started out as a social media platform. So you have to just ride with it. But if you want to talk to me, that would be like the best place to ask for about,
Cool. Awesome. And then the other one is How We Blog, right?
At How We Blog. Yeah, that's more blogging educational stuff because I had to create two separate ones because, just different questions and stuff. And
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. You took something and then just super niche down. I think that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
What he just said, oh, I follow you. I knew I've seen you before. Like there's people on here who are like, oh, I actually follow you. That's awesome. So with both of those, are you actively just daily creating content and then also producing on your blog too?
Yeah. So I'm in the process of hiring another VA because I just need help, and I have a lot of different projects beyond all this. So I'm just a very passionate person, but
I love that you said that in the questionnaire. I was like, wow, that's such a great word.
Yeah, that's the best way I can describe it. And I seem to attract a lot of people in my life who are too. I can't do one thing, Matt. I have to do multiple things. It's just how I'm working. But yeah, so it's especially on the affiliate account, I aim to do daily content. And my process for that is I'll just kind of see what's trending in terms of like sounds and stuff. That's a great way to grow. And then also just taking like my own spin on something. Like there was, I think one of my recent videos, it was like, because I'm not in the fashion niche at all. I couldn't care less about it. Like it's just not my thing. But there was this one like sound where you show like what you would wear to like a fashion show or what you would wear like out somewhere special. And I was like, well, I work at home a lot, and I mostly go out on, weekends and stuff and hang out with friends because I'm working throughout the week. But I was like, I really want to do this sound. How could I do it? And I was like, maybe I could show what I used to wear when I worked in corporate life versus what I wear now. And so I just did like all these like montages of me in like pajamas because that's what I wear. And I was like, I'm going to keep it real. And so when I do this talk with Matt, I'm going to wear loungewear because it wouldn't feel authentic if I would like showed up in a blazer and like glasses and be like, hi Matt, how are you? Like that wouldn't feel authentic. So I was like, I'm gonna rock the leopard onesie and just, but I did that sound and it was fun, and it brought in that like video alone brought in a lot of leads, and people are like, what do you do that allows you to work online in your pajamas? Tell me more. So I got a lot of messages privately about that. So just just go with like what's trending and just have fun with it and think outside the box, and you never know. You never know what you can create. So
yeah, I feel like it's funny because back in the day, like if you were to do this whole thing right now, like you're in like the pajamas and you're doing this thing, people would just be like, this is so fake. There's no way this is real. Like, get her out of here. And now it's just like, after the pandemic and the year we just had, people are just like, oh, she's one of those. She's just doing her thing.
Well, it's funny you said that because TikTok, I feel like, changed that perception, because Instagram was like the crowning or the crown of all social media platforms. Like everybody loved Instagram because it was like this highlight reel. Whereas TikTok comes in and I think they also lucked out a bit because they rose up during the pandemic and people were home anyway. Like what you would post on Instagram is very different than what you would post on TikTok. Like you could wear no makeup, like you could have like barbecue sauce on your lips and people would be like, I don't know, I just resonate with her. Like, let's make her go viral. Like that's like the mindset there. Whereas on like Instagram, you probably wouldn't post that. And so I think that's why I like the app, because there's like this acceptance of like dopiness and stupidity and silliness, and it's just nice, it's more like back and chill.
It's so nice. It's so refreshing.
Yeah, great word for it.
It's also cool how people have taken like a total business approach but turned it into a fun platform. Like it's a more fun platform to create content as opposed to something that has to be super insta, and there's nothing wrong. Well, and even Instagram's getting that way. Right. So like the introduction of Reels is obviously their attempt at like doing something very, very similar to TikTok and how they're putting the attention there and stuff. So, okay. What for people who are just to like shift gears, for people who are newer, thinking through like, well, actually, for people who are on like day one of your day one was a long time ago. If you could think back to your day one, like what would you tell people to focus their skills on, or like what would you tell them to focus their time and energy on in the early days if they're working a cleaning job and trying to figure this whole thing out?
Yeah. Oh, I love that question. And that feels like a million years ago, but, and I'm glad it feels that way because it wasn't this overnight success, and I don't want to ever paint that. And I hate it when people do, but, I would say do Legendary Marketer. I can honestly say that. Do the 15-day challenge. I wish to God I had that at the start, but
me too, honestly. And I'm like not trying to cut you off, but every time somebody says that, like, and I'm obviously biased, like I work for a company, like, but honestly, like the amount of hours and headaches that like I just did not understand, and I didn't have anybody to guide me. So sorry, just keep going. But
I'm glad you brought that up. I felt the exact same way. Like it was just like a headache, and just there was a lot of snake oil-ish Ponzi scheme like BS out there that I was just like, okay, goodbye. But I would say the skill sets you would definitely want to focus on would be copywriting, Copywriting is where you write words that connect and convert people to do and take an action that you want them to do. One of my income streams is copywriting. So I've been paid to copyright for people and stuff. And you just develop the skill as a blogger, you have to. But so I would say copywriting, just learn all that you can about it. The main emotion that you need to have in copywriting is getting empathy and getting your buyer. So in order to get more buyers, you have to get your buyer. You have to understand what's going on in here for them. You're not writing from your perspective. I hate to break it to you guys, it's not all about you. It's not all about me, but it's about them and their issues. And if you can provide a solution and show empathy and that you understand what they're going through, if I understand that and you don't, and you and I put up the same post, I'm going to get more sales. And you're not, because I understand my buyer. But if we both do that, then we're both getting sales. And so just make sure that you get your buyer. Really start to develop that quality of understanding people. Talk to your audience too. Make sure that you are niched down. Do not be that person who's like, I promote this, but I also promote that. I have 500,000 different affiliate products. Do not be that person, because people will not trust you at all. They just won't. I didn't start out with promoting as many products as I do now. That was a very gradual thing, because I knew that my blogging community needed specific products to run their blogs and businesses. So it was a natural fit. So have a very high standard on what you will put your name on and what you will say yes to and what you will, who you will work with. Just because someone's handing you money, it doesn't mean that it's worth it. That could make or break your brand. And so that's very important. Also develop the skill set of honesty and integrity. Or I don't know if that's a skill set, but the characteristic, the quality of it. A lot of people, and I hate saying it, but I don't know why, they have a hard time with being honest about the fact that they're an affiliate for the products that they're promoting. And Matt, I find that so bizarre. It's the weirdest thing to me, because why would you promote something, but then when someone's like, are you an affiliate for it? And they're like, well, I don't know, maybe, sort of, kind of. Just be honest about it. Be like, yeah, I'm an affiliate and I'm proud of it. And yeah, I get a commission at no extra cost to you. And here's my disclaimer, check it out. And if you want to keep it, great. If not, don't. People appreciate that. And I have been told on TikTok that I'm one of the first people on that app to be very open and honest about the fact that I'm an affiliate for said course or product. Or I could screenshot you so many different times people have written that to me. And that tells me that people are being a little bit quiet, because they think that well, if I tell people, then maybe they won't buy. It's actually the opposite. If you are honest about it, people are more likely to buy and want to work with you. And I have screenshots of that too. So just be open about it. And then just develop the mindset that things take time, and that it's okay if, for me, it took 4 months to initially quit that job. But that doesn't mean that I was in a place of okay, well, now I can just retire and kick my feet up. No, I was still working and hustling. But I was in a position to be able to help more people. I was able to help my family. I was able to say yes to things. And, because I was making money a little more passively. But just because you're making money passively, that doesn't mean that the work doesn't stop. And you have to know that maybe my timeline is going to be different than yours. And to not ever compare yourself. I know people say that and it's hard, but do not compare yourself. It is the thief of, or what is it? Comparison is the thief of joy. And it robs you of the opportunity to be grateful. It robs you of the opportunity to look at your life and all the blessings that God has given you. And if I could go back, I wish I could slap myself across the face and be like, Sarah, do not compare yourself. Be patient. It takes time. And yeah, just continue learning and growing and read books and show up to, calls like this. This is like free value that you get, from your time's valuable and my time's valuable. Take notes, and just, I'm just like thinking of all the things I would have done differently if I had started out, but that's what's coming to me right now. Those are the main ones. So. Oh, I can't hear you.
My bad.
Okay.
There's this undertone of like, and you actually said it out loud of just like, sort of just like, just genuine pride in like what you do, right? Like just taking pride in what you do, taking pride that certain parts, that are difficult or a struggle are going to be part of your journey. And that's just okay. Like, it's not a big deal. And yeah, I think Dave always says like, he always says, stop comparing your day 1 to somebody else's day 600, right? Exactly. And it's like somebody's been creating content and going at it hard. Like, don't compare your day 1 of fumbling around a TikTok app or a blog to somebody else's, day 1000, where they're seasoned and they've been doing it forever and they have momentum. Like, it's just such a different thing.
Right. And you also don't know what that person had to overcome in their mind and their heart, or like, if they didn't have support. Like, some people have a really good support system. I didn't. When I first started out, I had family members that were like, Sarah, like they were like literally praying for my salvation. And they're like, God help her, because like, we don't want you to fail, but like, you need like psychological help if you actually think you can make money. And then now those same people are like, wait, so how does it work? Like, can you show me? Please, like, teach me your ways. Like, and it's funny how it comes full circle, but like,
right.
Some people have really awesome support systems, and that's great, but like, not all of us had that. And so maybe that's going to be a driving factor for you to work harder, but don't try to prove them wrong. Prove yourself right and focus on helping people. I think money is just a resource, and it's a means of exchange of value. And how you exchange money is through people. If you drop a $20 bill on the ground, that $20 bill will stay on the ground until another human being comes and picks it up. So you need people to circulate money. But if you want money to be in circulation to you, then you need to help more people. And so just focus on giving value and helping people. Focus on your mission. The money will come later. You won't have to worry about that. But focus on your mission and your value. You'll be fine. I'm making it sound simple, but like, that's just how it worked for me. And I was like, okay, like,
it is simple.
Yeah, it's simple. I'm not saying it's easy, but it's simple.
Bingo. Simple, not easy. It's simple. It's less complex than people think.
Right.
It's simple, but it requires a ton of work. You're exactly right. Cool. Man, I can't say it any better. Thanks for coming on. Do you have any final parting words? I felt like what you just said there was like such a perfect capstone on this.
Yeah. I would say just to keep going, guys. I think God gave us all this beautiful life, and what we do with it, at the end of the day, we do have free will, and what you choose to do with that is up to you. And, just choose to live a magnificent life that's rooted in service and helping people. And now that I'm thinking about it, that was what I wanted to say. When you asked, like, what would I have done differently starting out? I would have been more grateful. I would have been a lot more grateful, because gratitude can bridge the gap between where you are to where you want to be. And you can create a magnificent life that's authentic and true to you, and that helps other people. And you can do that more quickly when you have gratitude, because things can always be worse. And I know that this was a hard year so far for a lot of people. It was a hard year last year. I had never gone through a pandemic before. That was like, I was new to that. And so I know we've all gone, it feels like through the ringer, but there are people out there who've had it way worse. And just always come back to gratitude. And when you think you want to give up, when you think you want to just call it quits. I know I wanted to call it quits a million times. I'm sure you did too, and you're
I
kind of
did. I mean, I did.
yeah. Like, well, you took a step to the side because you're still here, and it was just like, wait, I need a break. So just come back to gratitude and remember why you're doing this, because I think at the end of the day, you're only going to go so far for yourself. You can only push yourself so far. But when you have this luminous, beautiful why, and it's outside of you, it's helping your family, your friends, your community, other people, that will pull you forward to a place that you never knew you could go to. And so focus on your why and stay grateful, and be kind too.
Yeah.
That's what I would end with.
Awesome. Well, Sarah, thanks for coming on. Yeah. And it was really great. And maybe in a few months, we can have you back on and check in again and see how things are going.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Thank you for having me. And I appreciate you and Dave and everybody. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. So
awesome. All right. Sounds good. See ya. All right, guys. Man, another day. We've been doing these lives now for over a year, every single day. And it's just cool to have real, raw, transparent, vulnerable people like Sarah on. So that was really cool. So again, Sarah, thanks for coming on. Please read through the comments, because there's just a lot of people were very moved by what you had to share, and it was really great. So hey, we'll be back here same time, same place tomorrow, everybody. So tune in live 10 a.m. Eastern. You can find us on our Facebook page or in the Facebook group, and have yourself a good Wednesday.